Imagine waking up to find your backyard padlocked by a self-righteous busybody who thinks she owns your memories. All because her clipboard says so. Now picture her face when the truth slaps her harder than any fine she's ever issued, pure. Delicious justice served cold in a courtroom full of her former puppets. In the sleepy suburb of Willow Creek, where manicured lawns hid a web of petty tyrannies, Alex Rivera had carved out his slice of sanity. The pool in his backyard wasn't just water and concrete, it was his late dad's masterpiece. Built with calloused hands after Mom's passing. Water washes away the hurt, Dad used to mutter. Skimming leaves at dawn. Alex inherited it all, the house, the memories, and the court stamped approval from years back when nosy neighbors tried to bulldoze it over setback nonsense. Judge Elena Vargas had ruled it grandfathered, slamming her gavel like a mic drop. For a decade, it sat there, shimmering under the sun. A quiet rebellion against the HOA's creeping grip. But then Brenda Wilkins ascended the throne as HOA president. A woman who spoke in platitudes about community standards while wielding rules like a personal vendetta. With her pearl necklace and perpetual frown, she patrolled the streets in her golf cart, fining folks for mismatched mailbox colors or unsightly bird feeders. It's for the greater good, she'd coo at meetings, her voice dripping honey over venom. Alex kept his head down, paying dues on time, waving politely. He wasn't the type to stir pots, he observed, noted, and waited. Rumors swirled about him anyway, whispers that he was antisocial, a troublemaker hoarding illegal structures. Brenda fueled them subtly. Her emails to the board laced with innuendo, certain residents prioritize personal whims over our harmonious vision. Alex bit his tongue. But inside, he catalogued every slight, every glance. The pool's gentle lap against the tiles reminded him, patience wasn't weakness, it was ammunition. It started innocently enough. Or so Brenda framed it. One crisp Saturday, Alex was lounging poolside with a coffee when her golf cart hummed to a stop at his fence. She hopped out, flanked by two bored lackeys, Tim, the accountant with a nervous tick, and Marlene, the retiree who nodded like a bobblehead. Mr. Rivera, Brenda called, her tone all saccharine concern. We've had reports about your aquatic feature. It violates our updated setback guidelines. You'll need to drain and demolish it. Alex set his mug down slowly, peering over his sunglasses. Reports? From who? This pool's been here longer than your bylaws. Brenda. County judge approved it ages ago. She clutched her clipboard tighter, lips pursing into a thin line. Rules evolve. Alex. We're building a premium community here. Think of the property values. Her eyes flicked to the water like it personally offended her. Tim shuffled his feet, muttering, "It's just protocol." Alex leaned back, forcing a smile. Protocol that ignores a court order? Interesting. Brenda's cheeks flushed, but she recovered with a patronizing sigh. We'll send the formal notice. Compliance is mandatory, for everyone's sake. As they drove off, Alex watched the cart disappear around the bend. He pulled out his phone, snapping a photo of the retreating trio. Greater good. My ass, he murmured to the empty yard. That night, the first violation letter arrived via certified mail. Bold print screaming immediate action required like a bad infomercial. It demanded removal within 30 days or face escalating fines. Alex filed it away, adding a note, Day 1, the Empire strikes first. He knew this wasn't about setbacks, it was about control. Brenda's fear of any crack in her facade. Whispers in the neighborhood app amped up, anonymous posts calling his pool an eyesore and him a holdout rebel. Alex stayed silent. But he started digging old emails. Meeting minutes. Anything public. Brenda's reign was built on sand. And he intended to erode it grain by grain. The letters multiplied like rabbits on steroids. By week 2, Alex's mailbox groaned under the weight, fines jumping from $500 to $1,000. Threats of liens on his property. Noncompliance erodes our shared trust, one read. Brenda's signature looping like a noose. Then came the photos, in the HOA newsletter. A blurry shot of his pool circled in red. Captioned example of unapproved encroachment, let's keep Willow Creek pristine. Neighbors averted eyes at the grocery store, old Mrs. Patel, who'd once shared recipes, now crossed the street. Heard you're causing trouble, a guy at the gas station smirked. Alex nodded politely. Trouble? Nah. Just swimming. Inside. The isolation stung. But he channeled it. He reached out discreetly to Carlos Mendoza, a former city planner and Dad's old poker buddy. Over beers in Alex's garage, Carlos eyed the stack of letters. She's overreaching. Man. HOAs can't trump county law. But she's betting you'll cave before it hits court. Alex smirked faintly. Betting wrong. That night, someone spray-painted rule breaker on his fence, sloppy work. Probably a kid Brenda had riled up. Alex photographed it. Pressure washed it clean. And added to his growing dossier. Then the real sabotage hit. He woke to find his gate chained with an HOA-branded lock. A neon tag reading restricted access, safety hazard. Alex stared, chuckling darkly despite the rage bubbling up. Safety hazard? From the woman who finds people for flower colors? He bolt cut the chain. Documented everything. And emailed copies to his cousin, attorney Sofia Rivera. Sophia's reply was swift, this is harassment gold. Keep collecting. The pump mysteriously failed next, wires tampered. Footprints leading to Brenda's side of the neighborhood. Alex fixed it himself, installing a camera that caught her golf cart lingering nearby. Whispers turned to outright smears, Brenda at the next meeting. Voice quivering with faux indignation. Some residents endanger us all with defiance. We must protect our values. Alex attended that one, sitting in the back of the stuffy clubhouse. When public comments opened, he stood calmly. Values like ignoring court rulings. Brenda? Or chaining private property? The room hushed, Brenda's face twisted into a mask of polite fury. This isn't the place for personal attacks. Mr. Rivera. We're here for order. A murmur rippled, someone whispered. Can she do that? Alex sat down. But the seed was planted. Brenda's emails grew frantic. Typos slipping in, further delays will incur penalties. Her control was cracking. And Alex's quiet vigilance was the hammer. By month 3, Brenda's campaign had morphed into a farce of desperation. Liens threatened his credit, anonymous calls to his boss hinted at unstable behavior. Alex's job as a software engineer took a hit, HR pulled him aside for a wellness check. He laughed it off with them. But fury simmered. She's turning my life into her pet project, he confided to Sophia over video call. Sophia, sharp-eyed in her suit, nodded. Time to counterpunch. We've got the original judgment from Judge Vargas, let's loop her in. Alex tracked down the retired judge via LinkedIn, her voice on the phone was gravelly but warm. Rivera? Your dad built that pool like a fortress. Of course I remember ruling for him. When Alex laid out the saga, she snorted. This Wilkins woman sounds like a tin pot dictator. Count me in for testimony. Meanwhile, Carlos unearthed gems, Leaked board emails where Brenda forged a county inspector's signature, his own from an old file, to flag Alex's property as unsafe. That's fraud. Plain and stupid, Carlos growled. Handing over printouts. Alex's kitchen became command central. Papers stacked like battle plans. One email from Brenda to Tim read, "Push harder, he'll break eventually. Can't have outliers ruining my vision." Alex's lips curled in a sardonic grin. Your vision? Of what? A gated prison? Sophia drafted the lawsuit, harassment. Defamation. Fraud. They served papers at the next HOA meeting. Alex handing them to Brenda personally amid gasps. Her hands shook as she read. Face paling under the fluorescent lights. This is absurd. I'm upholding standards, she sputtered. Alex met her eyes coolly. Standards like forgery? See you in court. The room erupted in whispers. Marlene fidgeted. Tim bolted for the door. Brenda's facade shattered, a mix of bluster and panic. You'll regret this. Rivera. The community stands with me. But as Alex walked out, he caught nods from a few neighbors. The tide was turning. And Brenda's empire was leaking like a sieve. Court day dawned bright and merciless. The county building buzzing like a hive. Brenda arrived in a power suit. Lawyer in tow, a slick guy named Harlan who oozed false charm. Alex. Flanked by Sophia. Carlos. And Judge Vargas, now a witness. Felt the weight but held steady. The judge. A no-nonsense vet named Harlan, no relation, called order. Sophia opened, this isn't about a pool, it's about abuse of power. She paraded evidence, forged docs. Emails. Photos of the chain gate. Brenda squirmed on the stand. Her voice pitching high. I was protecting the neighborhood. He's defiant. Sophia leaned in. Defiant against what? A court order you ignored? Brenda stammered. Well, our bylaws supersede. Vargas testified next. Her tone cutting. I ruled that pool legal years ago. You can't supersede law with your little rulebook. The courtroom tittered. Brenda's lawyer objected futilely. Then the bomb, Sophia revealed the forged signature. Mrs. Wilkins. Care to explain impersonating a city official? Brenda's face crumpled, smugness to shock to red-faced denial. It was a mistake. For the greater good. Harlan the judge slammed his gavel. Mistake? That's felony territory. Brenda's lawyer whispered urgently. But she blurted. He's the problem. Ruining our pristine image with his outdated eyesore. The gallery gasped, even her allies winced. Sophia closed, the only eyesore is your ego. Mrs. Wilkins. The verdict hit like thunder, HOA fined $100,000. Brenda personally liable for $50,000 in damages. Barred from boards indefinitely. She slumped. Muttering. This can't be, as deputies escorted her out for a fraud referral. Alex exhaled. The room spinning with vindication. Outside. Neighbors clapped, some who'd feared her now cheered. Brenda's golf cart sat abandoned, her house sold weeks later. Whispers following her to obscurity. In Willow Creek's aftermath. The air lightened like after a storm. The HOA reformed under sane folks, meetings became barbecues. Rules fair. Alex's pool hosted gatherings again. Laughter rippling over water. He added a plaque, built on legacy. Defended by truth. Sophia visited. Toasting. You turned her tyranny into a cautionary tale. Carlos grinned. Bet she's finding squirrels now. Alex chuckled. But reflected, It wasn't revenge, it was restoration. The smears faded, replaced by respect. One evening, skimming leaves like Dad, Alex whispered. We held the line. The water settled. Mirroring stars, peace reclaimed. But here's the twist that lingers: was Brenda the real villain? Or just a product of a system that lets petty tyrants thrive? Right or wrong, did Alex go too far in dismantling her? Or was every step justified to expose the rot? Drop your take below. Who's the true rule breaker here?